So this is set 80045, aka the Monkey King Ultra Mech. It has 1,705 pieces and will retail for $160. And I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't overly excited about this set, cause I have such a special connection to the original Monkey Mech. Like, I understood why LEGO was making another one, but in my head, the original mech is so iconic, it was gonna be hard for LEGO to justify to me why they just had to make another Monkey Mech. And oh boy, I was wrong. The Ultra Mech definitely justifies its existence, and the best way to describe it is refined and customizable. This isn't like any other mech LEGO has ever done at this scale. And what I mean by that is normally Titan mechs are limited, fragile, and unmovable. They look really good on shelves, but they're not fun toys. They tend to break a lot, but the Ultra Mech doesn't. Let me show you what I mean. Let's start off with articulation. Surprisingly, it's very stable. It uses these new rubber elements at the bottom that add a ton of friction. And for the ankles, they are on a ball joint, but they're very limited, which normally would be a bad thing, but for the size of the mech, it means this won't be leaning forwards or falling backwards constantly. The knees are also fixed at a 170-degree angle, and while I do prefer mechs with bendable knees, considering how top heavy the mech is, I'm not surprised. At the hips, it's what we've come to expect from mechs this size. 6 ratchet joints and a ratchet disc joint. The legs can open all the way up to here, and they can rotate at about here, but they don't go backwards. For the loincloth, it is now brick built and it attaches at a mixel joint, and at times it can get in the way, but nothing too annoying. Moving over to the torso, personally, I think it looks phenomenal, and the way they created these shapes is very smart and they're super sturdy. I love how anime inspired it feels. It's so pointy and futuristic. The mech also has shoulder cannons that work like this, and wings that can't move a lot, but they can easily get out of the way, so that's nice. Over at the shoulder, the arms connect on the new ratchet disc joint introduced last year, which grant the arms a full 360 degrees of motion, and I love how they made these shoulder pads. They are inspired by the original Monkey King design, and they can also easily adapt into whatever you need from them. At the elbows, we have a double ratchet joint, but they don't bend the full 90, which is a bummer. And at the wrist, they use a mixel joint, which in my opinion really ruins the hands, because the hands are so good. They can hold the staff in place quite well, and the fingers are built better than most mechs. But the mixel joint just does not generate enough friction to maintain the staff's weight. And while yeah, you can most certainly use 2 hands to hold the staff, it just doesn't work. It can't pose with the staff. Is it fixable? Yes. But I'm kinda annoyed this mistake went through, because the mech was borderline perfect without this issue. The cockpit, on the other hand, is so well done. Instead of just having a small little part that opens up, the Ultra Mech has the head and chest as one single element that can move backwards, and that gives us full access to the cockpit. No more trying to get your fingers into tiny spaces to sit the figures. This time around, it's very simple, and since the head is so heavy, the cockpit will rarely open during play. Moving over to the head, I don't like how the red looks. It just sort of blends in with the rest of the mech. I would have preferred they use reddish brown to create some contrast between the body and the head. But what I do like about the head is the inclusion of the light brick to represent Monkey Kid's golden vision. Sadly, this head is on a pin, so it can only rotate side to side. And at the top, for the tail lids, they used a vinyl element, and while it does capture the flowy nature of the tail lids, I'm not a fan of the color. Maybe it's because I'm so used to them being red, but they just look a tad odd for my preferences. On the back, it's surprisingly well covered up. Nothing is blatantly exposed, and I like the inclusion of the jetpack that creates this handle to move around the mech. And for the tail, it's just mixel joints on mixel joints on mixel joints. It's nothing new, cause like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now let's talk about accessories, cause there is a lot going on with the mech. Similarly to the Combi Mech, the Ultra Mech builds upon the modular system laid out by the Staff Creation set of 2022 and goes full out. The mech gives the builder full control over how it looks. You don't like the wings? Take them off. You don't like the shoulder cannons? Take them off. You don't like the jetpack? Take it off. And for the weapons, thankfully the mech isn't just limited to the staff. You can also add forearm blades to whichever arm you choose. And you get a pair of these cloud blades, which the mech can hold with ease, or they can also attach at the hip. You can pick and choose how the mech acts, how it looks, how it feels. And if you're gonna tell me, Ace, I don't like any of them, it's fine, because you can take all of the attachments off and combine them into a jet. And assembling the jet is easy. Snap this off and move it down here. Take the gauntlet blade and slide it into the axle. And take the swords and place them on the sides. And voila, MK's new jet. Does it look a bit yappy? Yes. But considering it's an amalgamation of different accessories for the mech, I say it works just fine. Moving over to the minifigures, the set includes 6, 4 of which are exclusive, and 2 others only come in one other set. And I gotta say, all the figures either have brand new mold or side leg printing, which is just so fantastic. My favorite definitely is the Azure Lion with this double-sided cape, but Power Up MK is also pretty sweet. Side note, the box does advertise Golden Weapon collectibles for the wave, but in reality, all the specialized molds come in a weapons pack, but the pieces to make the weapons don't. In terms of value, this set is 100% worth its price. You rarely see sets with a ton of brand new molds exclusive to it. The price per piece is also very fair considering the current economic state of the world. Minifigure selection is borderline perfect. There are a couple of stuff I'm not too keen on with the mech, but overall, it just feels like a worthy successor to the Monkey Mech title. It's big, it's gorgeous, and most importantly, it's a great toy. So if you have the money and are thinking of getting it, please do it. It's 1000% worth it. But hey, that's just my brief opinion. Anyways, I'm Ace, this is Masters of Big Jitsu, and thanks for watching, take care.